With thousands of various deadly and advanced drones, Iran is now one of the world's top 3 drone powers. Military experts have claimed that the current advancement and self-sufficiency of Iran in drone technology will soon make it the world's drone superpower, challenging the superpower of the US in this field. The US Defense Intelligence Agency warned in 2019 that drones are Iran's most rapidly advancing air defense capability, which threatens the US bases and the US Navy's warships and aircraft carriers in the region. Iran has demonstrated its advanced drone expertise by domestically developing thousands of precise and combat-proven drones with an effective mixture of reverse engineering and indigenous technology. Despite all the heavy US sanctions imposed on Iran for a long period of time, Iran is increasingly advancing in its world-class drone power that dozens of countries across the world, including Russia, are interested in purchasing the Iranian drones. Iran first became interested in developing drones after a heavy attack by the US Navy in 1988 when the US fighter jets had destroyed 2 Iranian warships and damaged several Iranian oil platforms. Later, Iran lost several US-made fighter jets that were shot down by Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. However, the US sanctions made it harder to replace those American aircraft, which forced Iran to turn to unmanned aerial vehicles as alternatives to manned aircraft. Since then, Iran has produced an incredibly large, diverse, and multi-role drone fleet armed with longer flight endurance, greater maneuverability, and lower observability than conventional fighter aircraft. These drones fall into 2 major classes. The first class is dedicated to combat missions, and the other performs intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance roles. In addition, Iran also has a large number of integrated drones that can perform both combat and surveillance missions. Iran has about 15 different models of suicide drones, which explode on impact. They can be as accurate as a ballistic missile. In addition, they can fly at lower altitudes to evade radar detection. Iran also has more than 20 models of combat drones that can attack ground, sea, or air targets and then return to base. Several of Iran's drones were modeled on captured US drones, including the Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel, MQ-1 Predator, MQ-9 Reaper, and Scan Eagle, as well as the Israeli Hermes drone. In September 2019, Iran demonstrated the pinpoint accuracy and precision strike capabilities of its unmanned aerial vehicles when 20 of its drones hit 14 storage tanks and 3 processing trains at Saudi oil factories. Earlier in 2024, 3 American soldiers were killed and more than 40 others injured by an Iranian-designed kamikaze drone at the US military base in Jordan. On the 5th of December 2011, the Iranian cyber forces seized an American Lockheed Martin RQ-170 drone, which then had been reverse-engineered by Iran's Shahed Aviation Industries, and thus they acquired technical knowledge to develop the Shahed 171 and Shahed 191. Let's start with the Shahed family of drones. The Shahed 136 is one of the most dangerous, lethal, and combat-proven Iranian-designed loitering munitions with modern guidance and target detection system. This autonomous suicide drone is also called a kamikaze drone. It was designed and manufactured domestically by the Iran Aircraft Manufacturing Industrial Company, HESA, along with the Shahed Aviation Industries. It can destroy all targets in a vast range of up to 2,500 kilometers. One of the advantages of this long-range drone is its easy portability, quick deployment, and launching system. The entire unit of these drones can be mounted on the back of any military truck, and therefore multiple drones can be fired all at the same time. Another advantage of the Shahed drones is that the average Shahed drone costs only $20,000, whereas an American air defense interceptor missile costs about $430,000. This means that even if the Shahed drone is shot down by an enemy air defense missile, it would take a huge cost to intercept this drone. Iran has improved the loitering munition capability of the Shahed 136 drone by incorporating the Russian satellite navigation system rather than the US-operated GPS navigation system. These suicide drones are harder to detect than ballistic missiles. They are not as noisy. They do not produce high thermal signatures, which makes them harder than ballistic missiles to track by satellites. This drone also has an antenna interference suppression system that can suppress the heavy jamming of the satellite navigation position signal and also suppress any electronic warfare emissions. It is equipped with anti-aircraft rotary cannon, along with high-precision surface-to-air missiles. This highly lethal drone has the combat-proven ability to shoot down fighter aircraft, as was proved in the Russia-Ukraine war. On the 13th of October 2022, a Ukrainian MiG-29 fighter jet crashed when a kamikaze drone detonated near the jet and struck the cockpit, which forced the pilot to eject. This drone has proven its ability to evade even the American Patriot air defense system, as the extra-low altitude flight of these drones helped them to penetrate multiple times into Ukraine's American-made air defenses. On the 13th of April 2024, Iran used the Shahed 136 among other long-range weapons to strike the Nevatim air base in Israel, which is about 1,050 kilometers away from the Iranian border. Iran has provided Russia with thousands of kamikaze drones. According to an unverified report, the Russian military in 2022 paid at least $1.75 billion for the import of 6,000 Shahed 136 units from Iran. This means that Russia had purchased each of the Shahed drones at $193,000. Russia has used these Iranian drones in large quantities to strike the Ukrainian military targets precisely and accurately during the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Russian armed forces used a number of kamikaze drones to hit the Ukrainian Navy headquarters. According to a Ukrainian artillery commander, several Iranian Shahed 136 drones had destroyed 4 howitzers and 2 rocket launchers in Ukraine. Multiple Iranian kamikaze drones were used by Russia in the October 2022 missile strikes that disabled large sections of the Ukrainian power grid, knocking out electricity to hundreds of towns in Ukraine. By November 2022, Russia and Iran had agreed to the Russian manufacture of this kamikaze drone, with Iran exporting the key components. By Iran's help, the Russian drone manufacturing industry has a target of building more than 6,000 Shahed 136 drones by 2025. The Shahed 107 is a combat drone that can be launched from a vehicle and has a range of up to 1,500 kilometers. Iran had offered a few units of the Shahed 107 to Russia in a deal worth more than $2 million. The Shahed 121 drone was first noticed in 2016 when it flew over one of the U.S. Navy's nuclear power aircraft carriers in international airspace. The Shahed 129 is an Iranian medium-altitude, long-endurance drone that is capable of combat and reconnaissance missions within a combat range of 1,700 kilometers for as long as 24 hours. What makes it interesting is that it is similar in size, shape, and role to the American MQ-1 Predator drone. The Shahed 129 was reverse-engineered from an Israeli Hermes 450 drone that crashed in Iran and was later captured by the Iranian army. What makes it really dangerous is that it can carry up to 8 bombs and is equipped with the Iranian Tufan anti-tank missile and the Sadid precision-guided smart bomb that has an advanced infrared seeker and electro-optical sensor for day and night missions. Iran has upgraded this drone to a more advanced variant equipped with satellite navigation, a synthetic aperture radar, and a vast range of 3,000 kilometers. The Shahed 131 is a loitering munition that poses a significant challenge to conventional air defense systems, as it can alter its flight path mid-flight. With a 15 kilograms warhead and a range of 900 kilometers, it has been used heavily by Russia to strike Ukrainian targets during its invasion of Ukraine. The Shahed 147 is a high-altitude, long-endurance drone that has an advanced synthetic aperture radar imaging for surveillance. With a maximum flight altitude of 60,000 feet, it can fly for more than 24 hours in reconnaissance missions. The Shahed 149 Gaza is one of the most modern and powerful Iranian drones and is named after the Gaza Strip in honor of Palestinian struggle against the Israeli occupation. This drone is a high-altitude, long-endurance UAV, similar in size, shape, and role to the American MQ-9 Reaper drone. With a maximum range of 2,500 kilometers and a maximum speed of 340 kilometers per hour, it can fly continuously for 24 hours and can carry 13 bombs and 500 kilograms of electronic equipment. What makes it more insane is that it can detect stealth aircraft within a range of 500 kilometers. The Shahed 171 is a jet-powered UAV based on an American Lockheed Martin RQ-170 Sentinel UAV that was seized by Iran in 2011 and reverse-engineered. The Shahed 191 is also a copy of the U.S. Air Force's RQ-170 drone. It has two variants that can carry two Sadid-1 anti-tank guided missiles. The Shahed 238 is a modern stealthy drone that can challenge enemy air defense systems with its radar-absorbent material and a radar detection system to attack air defenses and other radars, as well as electro-optical and infrared camera sensors. On the 13th of April 2024, Iran launched 185 Shahed 238 drones in its first major attack on Israel. The Yasir is an Iranian light tactical surveillance and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicle with the world's smallest synthetic aperture radar. It is equipped with an infrared camera for night operations and a powerful optical detection system covering up to 45,000 square kilometers for providing high-quality real-time ground imaging and detecting small and large targets even in the worst weather conditions. Although this drone is primarily designed for reconnaissance, Iran has also fitted it with an explosive payload for use as a strike munition. This homegrown drone is manufactured entirely by the Iranian aviation industry. Interestingly, it is a copy of the American Scan Eagle drone, which was captured and reverse-engineered by Iran, but has some design changes. In December 2012, Iran stated it had captured an American Scan Eagle that had violated the Iranian airspace over the Persian Gulf. Iran later stated it had also captured two other Scan Eagle drones. On the 17th of December 2012, Iran also claimed that they had already reverse-engineered, mass-produced, and entered the Scan Eagle drone into service. In October 2013, Iran had exported a number of the Yasir drones to the Russian Air Force. The Ababil is an Iranian family of long-range, multi-role target drones manufactured by Iran Aircraft Manufacturing Industrial Company, HESA. The Ababil drones are mainly high-explosive suicide drones with the ability to perform intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. The Ababil 2 is an easily portable drone with a rocket launch system that makes it possible to launch this drone from a ship deck. It was used to attack the radar components of the American Patriot surface-to-air missiles. The Ababil 3 is compared with the American RQ-2 Pioneer UAV for its effectiveness. Iran had developed night vision capabilities for this drone. The Ababil 5 can carry 4 guided anti-tank missiles with a range of 8 kilometers or 6 precision-guided bombs with a range of 6 kilometers. The Arash is a long-range loitering munition that has a 2,000 kilometers strike range and carries a 150 kilograms warhead. It can recover itself several times until it hits the target precisely. An Iranian brigadier general said that the Arash-2 drone has unique capabilities that were considered for targeting Tel Aviv in the attack against Israel. The Fotros is another long-range, high-tech drone that can fly continuously for 30 hours, with a long-range covering up to 2,000 kilometers. It carries at least 6 QAM precision-guided munitions. It is by far the largest Iranian drone in size. The Hamaseh is an Iranian reconnaissance UAV with high flight endurance. It can carry synthetic aperture radar, communications jammers, and an infrared camera. Iran's defense minister Ahmad Vahidi claimed that this high-altitude drone with its stealth quality can avoid detection by the enemy radar. The Cayman is a family of highly lethal drones with the largest range and highest explosive carrying capacity. The Cayman 22 is one of the longest-range Iranian drones with an incredible range of 3,000 kilometers. And it can carry 300 kilograms of explosives, including all kinds of munitions. The Cayman 12 has a speed of 200 kilometers per hour, and its one-way range is 2,000 kilometers. It can carry 100 kilograms of explosive warhead and travel continuously for more than 10 hours. The Cayman 19 is equipped with electronic countermeasures to deceive radar or other detection systems, like lasers. The Karar is an Iranian-improved copy of the American MQM-107 Streaker target drone. This jet-powered drone is now equipped with a Shahab missile and with the Majid heat-seeking missile in order to hit air targets. One of its special capabilities is that it is capable of air launch and also capable of both high and low altitude flight and of day and night flight. The Karar has an autopilot system with GPS guidance and also has terrain following capability. It can follow a pre-programmed flight path, which can also be updated in flight. The Karar can carry one satellite-guided glide bomb of 227 kilograms with precision guidance. Alternatively, it can carry 2 Nazar anti-ship missiles, 2 Kausar anti-ship missiles, and even an anti-submarine torpedo. It can also launch cruise missiles to target ground-based radars and naval ships. Former Iranian President Ahmadinejad said that the Karar is the first long-range bomber drone manufactured in Iran. Today, Karar is an interceptor UAV that can shoot down surface-to-air missiles. The Karar target drones have been used by Iran to test a lot of air defense systems, including the Mersad, Sayyad-2, and Sayyad-3 air defense systems. The Kion is a jet-powered high-precision reconnaissance and attack drone capable of continuous travel for more than 1,000 kilometers and able to climb to 5,000 meters above sea level. The Rod-85 is a loitering munition and a suicide drone that is remotely guided to its target by a human operator. It can be operated in an electronic warfare environment. The Iranian General Ahmad Reza stated, "This drone is like a mobile bomb and is capable of destroying fixed and mobile targets." The Mohajer is a family of drones with improved avionics, endurance, surveillance, and range, and is among the most mature and well-known Iranian drones. The first member of this family, the Mohajer-1, proved its advanced surveillance capabilities in the Iran-Iraq War. Iran had armed it with 6 RPG-7 rockets, 3 under each wing. The successful use of the Mohajer-1 inspired Iran to develop a version with again more range and endurance. This version, the Mohajer-2, also has a GPS guidance system and an autopilot system which is able to maintain airspeed, altitude, and stability in flight. The autopilot system can control the drone's course, or it can be controlled in real time from a ground control station. It has an onboard digital processor and can downlink sensor imagery. It is armed with 12 RPG-7 rockets, 6 under each wing. It can be launched from a variety of platforms, including trucks, cars, and ships. In 2014, Iran introduced the Mohajer-2N, which exceeds the Mohajer-2 with its far improved performance. The Mohajer-2N replaces the electronics of the Mohajer-2 with more modern versions and also has improved flight characteristics. It is also capable of transmitting imagery in real time. The Mohajer-4 has an impressive electronic warfare capability and a modern guidance and control system, which includes GPS navigation. It can be armed with 2 Hydra 70 rockets under the wings. It normally follows a pre-programmed flight path, but its mission profile can also be updated in flight via radio uplink. The Iranian Navy used the Mohajer-4 to harass a U.S. Navy jet fighter in 2017. The Mohajer-6 has the same form as the previous Mohajer versions, but is significantly larger. With a flight endurance of 12 hours, it is capable of carrying 150 kilograms of guided bombs, including 4 precision-guided munitions and more advanced multispectral surveillance equipment, including high-resolution sensors, electro-optical imagery, electronic support measures, communications jamming, and electronic warfare payloads. It has an autopilot system capable of automatic takeoff and landing. Many types of air-to-ground, air-to-air missiles, guided rockets, guided mortars, electronic countermeasures, and radar detection and warning pods can be used with the Mohajer-6 ammunition launching system. It has shown its effectiveness in combat scenarios as Russia used a Mohajer-6 to guide the Shahed suicide drones to their targets in Ukraine during their invasion of Ukraine. The Mohajer-10 is the latest and most powerful member of the Mohajer family. What is most insane about this attack drone is that Iran has developed it specially to strike the Israeli nuclear research centers and atomic facilities. This UAV can fly continuously at a height of 7,000 meters for up to 2,000 kilometers, which means it can reach Israel and far beyond Israel. It has a 24-hour flight endurance ability and can carry up to 300 kilograms of cargo, including munitions and electronic equipment. Its airframe has a visual resemblance to the American MQ-9 Reaper. It is equipped with 6 air-to-ground munitions: the Almas missile, Kayam bomb, and Arman gliding bomb. It is also fitted with advanced surveillance and electronic warfare capabilities. The Sarir is a stealth drone that is optimized for surveillance roles using electro-optic and infrared sensors. It is also capable of carrying air-to-air missiles and evading enemy radar detection. Talash is the first drone produced by Iranian drone maker Quds Air Industries, and it possesses a maximum speed of 140 km per hour. Iran's mastery of high-tech drone warfare poses a real challenge to the Western, and particularly the U.S. supremacy in the region. This is because the air and missile defense systems developed by the U.S. and its allies do not yet have the capability of defending effectively against drones, as they are stealthier, smaller in size, and harder to detect than missiles or fighter aircraft. Further, it is costlier for the U.S. to defend against drones with air defense systems than it is for Iran to produce, maintain, and operate them. A single American Patriot surface-to-air missile can cost about $3 million, while Iran's deadliest kamikaze drone costs only $20,000, which makes defending against a swarm of drones an extremely expensive proposition. Over the past decade, Iran has accelerated its efforts to develop indigenously designed and manufactured UAV systems with integrated or suicide attack capabilities, as drones have numerous advantages over manned strike platforms, which have added to their dangerous performance in Iran's air defense arsenal. They are less costly to build and maintain than manned fighter aircraft and have fewer costs associated with training, as manned aircraft require pilots and crew members to operate. Iran has struggled to obtain parts to maintain its aging air force due to the U.S. sanctions, but has succeeded in developing an indigenous drone capability, as many of the systems, parts, and equipment for drones are more commonly commercially available and include numerous technologies with dual civilian-military uses. As its drone forces have grown in sophistication, they increasingly give Iran the ability to carry out strikes with precision over longer range. So this is how Iran continues to enhance its superiority in drone warfare.